Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's too much. I am not CIO from the Pope. It's only from the Vatican Library, nothing more. It's really an honor for me to stay here and have the occasion to present our conservation project for the Vatican Library. Then I go to the images that you see is an example from the next reading room that will be open to the next years. And this is the reading room for the manuscript that already available. And this is another one. Normally, we explain this situation not only for giving to you the situation of the building of the Vatican Library, but explain to you that is never enough. In 500 of the story, we have realized that the Vatican Library gives the chance to consultation of the Howard Scholar no more of 20% of the Howard collection. And 5 years ago, we decided to change the philosophy of preservation. No more the people only coming inside to the Vatican Library for consultation, the collection of the manuscript, but the Vatican Library also go inside to any individual home, or we wanted to take the collection, for give more possibility to study. Because in the Howard collection, there are a piece of life of the people around the world. I give it to you some number. We have 1.5 million of a title of a printing books, 300,000 of a coin, and 20,000 incunabula. Incunabula is the printing books that has manuscript and printing from to 1,400 and 1,500. And then we have the important collection for the manuscript, more of 82,000 manuscripts conserved inside. If you imagine, in 500 years, no more of 20% of this collection is open. There is a piece of a story and part of each one of those people. And this is important. This story is not for me or for my daughter. It's for the future. This is because we have realized that it's necessary no more take the collection inside to the bunker. But this collection, you must come out around of the world. Because the people, you must to know what's major around of the world and the story very, very, very oldest. Imagine that the Vatican Library collection is not only Christian collection, but there are collections from the Japan, from the China, from the Atseki collection, very, very old, a very, very different location. This is just an example important for the Christian people. This is the original from the Gospel by Luca. Is our Father. For give it to you an idea what we have conserved inside. And then, this is very important because 5 years ago, decided to modify any things in our building. Reproject infrastructure, policy of security, video camera, and then also RFID technology inside our object. We have also one software that gives to us a chance of link the images coming from the video camera and associate this clip with the RFID chip. In this phase, it is a possible check what's made inside of the building of the Vatican Library. The material is all checked by a lay procedure. This is an example of RFID chip that we used in this situation. This is because it's very important to need digitalize. We want to conserve this manuscript and give it to the people the possibility of read all them for all the time that we want. This is another sample that we have. A Divina Commedia illustrata by Botticelli, one copy of Koran, and bilingual of Iliade. The main important question when our project is start is which format we must be used. Because around of the world, all the people of the company speak about the big data. This terminology go very fast. All the people want to speak, we want a big data conservation, but no one started with the big one project. Today, we don't have another example the same to us. And before we start this project, we look around to us for more of 2 years for you have a confront, for understanding which is the best way for long-term conservation. But many often there are projects that is only in test bed and no one start because the people around to us use the different format. Really, we don't understand why the person around to us, you cannot sharing our experience, but them propose to our conservation a TIFF format on JPEG 2000. This is not conservation format, it's a visualization format. This is good for your picture, what you want. It's very strange. One word where the technology go very fast. For conservation project, I must to use the TIFF format that will be created in 92, and the last update is in 98. It's coming from Adobe. Very strange. Made to image 82,000 manuscript. Any manuscript has 500 pages. If you multiply, you can have at the end of the project more of 45 million of a page. And this page is not only for us. If I use the TIFF, I must ask it to PDF company, to Adobe company, because a piece of the copyright coming from Adobe. TIFF is coming from Adobe. PDF coming from Adobe. JPEG 2000 is a link to Kakadu. Cannot be realized a long-term conservation project with a format that is not free. F.I.T.S format, it's very oldest. It's created 52 years ago for the lunar mission from to the science and community for physics and astrophysics and NASA science. Very, very easy format. It's a binary, as a top and header that will be 1,000 of a record. Is it possible to read any information, what's matter after for realize what's defined the TIFF file. Any file is enough for yourself. It's totally independent from to operating system, from to application. And another important thing is all the visualization format that I explained before, TIFF, JPEG 2000, or JPEG, has already defined a color map. And color map define a profile of color is already defined a compiling inside. This is good today, but what's the matter in the next 100 years? F.I.T.S don't know what is the color map, don't know the color profile. The color profile is realized, but the byte that will be loaded. And then we can generate the profile that you want. This is something that can be accepted, something that gives to us a really definition from to the binary data and what you want to realize and want to be conserved. For you have a real problem on the F.I.T.S format, we must change the binary algebra of a ball. If you change this one, can have the problem. But I think that the 0 and 1 is the basic of our information. And I am sure that continues for a long time. Another philosophy that will be applied a very, very critical scanning defined workflow. Any machine will be created on the color map definition and calibrate the monitor and the scan together any 2000 images that will be realized. This is for have the guarantee that the color that will be impression will be the same time, the same model of original. And any time that the scanner will be realized, no one can be touched. How you upload the file remain to the same condition, no modified by Photoshop or other things. That is totally wrong, because it is a conversion philosophy in scan definition. And another thing that normally, when we have an approach with long-term conservation, the main thing is what's the matter of the investment, of the money that I have put in this project in the next 100 years. We are sure that we have the very good duration, because divided the project into flow. We have a very low flow and hard socket with the F.I.T.S format, totally independent from what matter to the second flow. On the F.I.T.S format, we have the premise card, and the premise card is a particular functionality inside any picture that you realize. Anytime that you click and picture with your telephone or with another machine, you have a piece of metadata. This metadata, many of you don't know, but from this metadata, the file is possible. You have your location, or which type of material, or how many pixels you realize these images. These images is right in one single format that they call it premise. Inside this premise, there is a keyword that will be linked to what's matter to the second flow. The second flow for us is operating system, application, and people that work. We create an engineer of conversion that will be very fast, translate from to F.I.T.S format to JPEG, to TIFF, to JPEG 2000, and demand. No more of 1 second for to convert an image of 200 megabytes in the format that the people that work on to the second flow. And in this case, the project don't change the life of no one. Only the people in the data center know that the philosophy, the format in F.I.T.S is a very long conservation standard. But for other situations, nothing will be changed. The people continue to work at the same time without to change the strategy, change the format, anything continue at the same before. And then we have realized many different of a distribution of this file, because the normal thing is that it's important conservation in digital, but it's also important to give this possibility to any people to read. The manuscript is too complicated. The paleography people that study the calligraphy work on of the manuscript more over 1 year. This is because we have divided two different access to the manuscript. The first one is an technology access to the manuscript. You must have a competence, because this manuscript will be linked with the author, title. It's very difficult to understand the title, because the title, all information inside will be realized by very big one study. The second one, it's very easy. It's just a flip and manuscript without to know nothing. We have two devices. All the people, you can have an access of our databases. And the solution of this very, very free possibility is the engineer that we have realized that will be convert anything in very fast way. We have realized also another thing that is very important. For the paleography people, and not also, it's very important many often to know if one manuscript is right to the same hand from other one. Because normally the manuscript will be copied from the copyist person. And no, for example, the Divina Commedia by Dante Alighieri is not right by Dante Alighieri. It's right from the copyist that work for him. It's very important to know that the same hand write all the manuscript. We have this software that gives to us the chance to search in particular calligraphy and confront, match with all the manuscript if this calligraphy is present in other manuscript. This is very big help for our paleography people, because from this way it's possible to realize in the same hand write several manuscripts without touch them. What is the next project for us? The next project for us that will be realize something of a difference, because we have started with the idea that the conservation philosophy will be only for the manuscript. But day after day, we move on this idea, not only for the manuscript, our philosophy of conservation, but we extend our philosophy on one platform. You have realized, if I conserve anything, for example, with a picture, I don't have a problem in the next 100 years. If someone asks to me the original document, it's very easy to give to him a picture, because the picture is totally different from to operating system, or which release of Office will be generated, or which release of a PowerPoint will be generated this file, because it's only a picture. Try to imagine the possibility you have all the document inside to the big data lake, one container, big one, that you can have format and unformatted document. And there is a software that it's possible to realize that this software created the information retrieval philosophy. Any word of a digital file will be created an index. And with this index, we can generate a web semantic. What's the matter any time that you stay in front of one computer and want to realize a query? The limit is ourselves. The limit is the skill that I have. Normally, we start a query to mainframe of something around that I know already, but I want something more. It's very difficult that I create and query something of new. Our idea is created a very large network by, from one side, the web semantic and information created by to an information retrieval index, and a network that will be generated by the query after query. Similar to the Google, but something of more. Google is very confusion. I give it to us all information. We want to realize, and then we have already the many tests in this duration, something that will be from different land, different object, different skill of a person. In this case, the system answered to me the question that I have realized, but proposed to me also another many area that will be used the same question that I want. This is important because with this query, we can generate after many information that will be given to me, another aspect of information that is inside to the computer. Normally, we have an approach peer-to-peer. We ask something, we expected. The innovation is computer answer to me with something of new. Really, with all information that computer has will be going to my direction. And then this information is a link to the F.I.T.S format by premise with a key that calling object. Is a numeric key that link with what I call the second flow. What's the matter? On the second flow, anything will be changed. In the next 10 years, then digital lake, semantic, query will be oldest, will be changed with new family. But the keyword remain on the hard socket for the F.I.T.S. And the new one, application, the new one operating system, the new philosophy that someone created on the next generation will be transported by the keyword the oldest information. And then we can regenerate the information that will be available before. This is want to be realized step by step. And this is important in medical approach to have and many information from to the people and the medical situation and the geostatic situation, all information that go together, and then you create a database for any different person for understand if, for example, the quality of life to Rome is different to Bilbao or different to Madrid. This information is already present in several databases, but no one wants to link, because any time that we have an approach with big data conservation, we have many questions, but the main question is which format I want to be used. I hope that many people work to us, and we have an example that many different companies stay with us in this philosophy. I have the entity data group that sharing with us this philosophy and continued with the same direction for understanding and creating system K-hand that will be respected this philosophy. And also other company that will be EMC Square, that storage, work on data lake infrastructure. I hope that in the future, many of library we divided with us the same philosophy, or give it to us the new way for you do better the our project. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks, Luciano. Any question? ¿Alguna pregunta para Luciano? No? I have one question. Which is the most or the rarest document that you have made accessible to the public? I mean, from the Vatican Library, in your opinion?
The manuscript.
Not the rarest. The most. I mean, the most ancient one. I mean, something very, very strange.
But normally, the best document that we have is the Divina Commedia by Dante Alighieri.
Okay.
For me, that's I study this on the school, and never I think that it's possible to touch the original. We have two copies. One is coming from the copist by Dante Alighieri, and the second one is coming from the Botticelli, Pink, and very young painting is calling Botticelli. This is for me is important, because when I study in the school, never do you think that this manuscript is taken from some way as someone you can touch, really.
Okay. Well, thank you, Luciano. Thank you very much.
Thank you, me too.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's too much. I am not CIO from the Pope. It's only from the Vatican Library, nothing more. It's really an honor for me to stay here and have the occasion to present our conservation project for the Vatican Library. Then I go to the images that you see is an example from the next reading room that will be open to the next years. And this is the reading room for the manuscript that already available. And this is another one. Normally, we explain this situation study because in our collection there are a piece of life of the people around of the world. I give it to you some number. We have 1.5 million of a title of a printing books, 300,000 of a coin, and 20,000 incunabula. Incunabula is the printing books that has manuscript and printing from to 1,400 and 1,500. And then we have the important collection for the manuscript, more of 82,000 manuscripts conserved inside. If you imagine, in 500 years, no more of 20% of this collection is open. There is a piece of. This is just an example important for the Christian people. This is the original from the Gospel by Luca. Is our Father. For give it to you an idea what we have conserved inside. And then this is very important because 5 years ago decided to modify any things in our building, reproject infrastructure, policy of security, video camera, and then also RFID technology inside our object. We have also one software that gives to us a chance of link the images coming from the video camera and associate this clip with the RFID cheap. In this phase, it's not only for giving to you the situation of the building of the Vatican Library, but explain to you that is never enough. In 500 of the story, we have realized that the Vatican Library gives the chance to consultation of the Howard Scholar no more of 20% of the Howard collection. And 5 years ago, we decided to change the philosophy of preservation. No more the people only coming inside to the Vatican Library for consultation the collection of the manuscript, but the Vatican Library also go inside to the any individual home we wanted to take the collection for give more possibility to story in part of each one of those people. If this is important, this story is not for me or for my daughter, it's for the future. This is because we have realized that it's necessary no more take the collection inside to the bunker, but this collection you must come out around of the world, because the people you must to know what's matter around of the world and the story very, very, very oldest. Imagine that the Vatican Library collection is not only Christian collection, but there are collections from the Japan, from the China, from the Atseki collection, very, very old, a very, very different location.